I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Congressman Steve Cohen questioned Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas about Ukrainian refugees during Thursday's House Judiciary Committee hearing. Customs and Border Protection encountered over 3,000 Ukrainians at the southern border in March. Cohen asked Mayorkas what the U.S. is doing to assist these refugees. Take a listen for the Secretary's response.
The gentleman, Mr. Cohen.
Except here.
Mr. Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, thank you for coming before us. I appreciate it. We've had other cabinet secretaries in the previous administration who refused to come before us. So I appreciate your being here. I'm very concerned with the situation in the Ukraine and with the refugees. And you may have answered this question. I'm doing 3 committees at once, so I've been in the back some time. But what is being done to accommodate the Ukrainian refugees who might want to come to the United States? And I've seen stories on TV where they've gotten to the border in Mexico and they've maybe eventually gotten in, but they spent a long time there. So,
Congressman, there are 3 avenues to bring humanitarian relief to the Ukrainians under the direction of our president. One is, of course, the traditional refugee system, the refugee program, and we immediately deployed refugee affairs officers to the region to administer a request for refugee relief. In addition, the State Department issued new guidance with respect to the application for visas for temporary stays here in the United States in accordance with our legal immigration system. And third, we were very proud, under the President's direction, to launch this past Monday, Uniting for Ukraine, which is a program to provide humanitarian parole to Ukrainians seeking temporary relief here in the United States who have sponsors here.
I don't know if you had anything to do with this, but there were about 8 children and their parents who were brought to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis for treatment. And if you did have something to do with it, thank you. And if you didn't, thanks to whoever did it.
Well, thank you very much for recognizing the extraordinary work of the people in the Department of Homeland Security who made that possible in collaboration with our great colleagues in the Department of State.
Thank you, sir. I visited with First Lady Biden when she came to Memphis, and she visited with the families. We didn't, but we were there. And St. Jude's very special to us, and it's free and serves those children, and thank you for getting them there. Afghan interpreters. I've got quite a few people in my district who went to Afghanistan. They had interpreters. They praised their work. Some of them have not gotten back over to this country, and they have sent me messages suggesting that there are many Afghans and interpreters in particular who are still in the queue to get here. Is there a big backlog, and what are we doing to get our friends who helped us there back to?
So, Congressman, as you well recognize, the heroic work of Operation Allies Welcome, which brought more than 73,000 Afghan nationals here to the United States in a matter of weeks. There remain individuals in Afghanistan who are seeking humanitarian relief, and there are those outside of Afghanistan doing the very same. And U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services with the Department of State is working through those applications as swiftly as it can. And we ask you to understand that we are doing so with the greatest urgency in light of the urgent need for relief, but we are addressing an agency that was so incredibly under-resourced. We're building up those resources to be able to provide emergent relief as you so correctly identify the need.
I believe one of my colleagues might have asked you about children being separated and maybe the lawsuit or what's gone on with the previous administration separated children from their parents at the border. What's going on with children and parents who come together, and are there many children coming on their own today?
We are, through the Family Reunification Task Force that the President directed, reuniting separated children with their parents. We are enabling them to reunite here in the United States. And what we do is we grant them humanitarian parole so that they have some level of stability for a 3-year period. And of course, that is renewable depending on the facts of the particular case. We have already reunited more than 200 separated families. We have 400 more in process, and our work will not be done until we reunite them all.
Thank you, sir. I looked at your biography in a little bit, and I saw you have Sephardic as well as Ashkenazi roots, as do I, and my Sephardic roots came from Turkey. So we both probably had our families get benefits from Hias, and Hias is a great group that helps immigrants. Because of that and knowing that history, I feel an obligation, and I suspect you do as well, to help others who need to immigrate and leave oppressive regimes or danger. So thank you for what you're doing, and I know you coming from Cuba, it was important that you were allowed in the United States.
Thank you.
The time of the gentleman has expired, Mr. Issa.